everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Moneyline with Nancy at TV. In case you're not a subscriber yet, please do subscribe. Just press the subscribe button as well as turn on the notification bell so that you can get notifications when we upload our videos. Don't also forget to subscribe and join, follow, like our other social media platforms. Of course, you're seeing it right about now. Don't also forget to share this video across your platforms. Enjoy the video. All right, welcome back. Joining me right now for our first interview is Samuel Agbeluyi. He's the president, CITN, and he joins me from Ghana. Good morning, Mr. Agbeluyi. How are you? It's still morning in Ghana. We are an hour ahead of them, so welcome to the program.
Good morning. I'm happy to join the program.
Thank you for joining us. I hope that your picture will be steady. I'm wondering what's shaking. So I would appreciate that the picture is steady. So welcome to the program. The two-day public hearing started yesterday on tax reforms bills. Is CITN prominent in that public hearing? Or are you satisfied? Is your institution, is your association satisfied? Is the institute satisfied, hook, line, and sinker, with everything being presented by Taiwo Oyedele and his team? No input, no subtraction.
Thank you very much. The institute was well represented at the public hearing yesterday, and we also appear at the House of Rep public hearing. This is because we believe as an institute that there is no document that is perfect. Notwithstanding that we are part of the committee at the time of writing this report, there were some issues we contributed. You agree with me, the committee was populated by a lot of various interests, and so not everything went in. And we have seen the need to further work on the document so that it can be made perfect. So we appeared yesterday, and then we also appearing at the House of Rep, so that the essence of our position is to make Nigeria a great one, and the way we see it, we put it across to the members of the National Assembly so that it can get better. It can only get better. Also, even once these bills are passed and the president assents, we won't be surprised that in another 1 year or two, that we need to amend one thing or the other by the realization of the implementation. Certain challenges may come up. And so it will be a static document that we need to keep on working on it. But essentially, as an institute, as we have said from time to time, it's a major document that we believe that will help the growth of Nigeria economy.
Are there holes that your institute has with it that perhaps, I know you're in Ghana, that perhaps your members raised yesterday? Are there issues they raised that we are not taking a look at, apart from perhaps the political side that has been resolved, so to speak, by the Governors Forum?
If you look at the bill, specifically, there was mention of a tax agent, and we are not too comfortable with the coining and the drafting of that aspect. We have a professional institute in Nigeria, a Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, with over 30,000 members, and our membership base has the combination of lawyers, economists, and chartered accountants. So we have everything wrapped in one to serve the nation very well. So, but this seems not to have been fully represented in the drafting of the bills. So we put this across to the lawmakers to look at it, and so that we shouldn't throw away professionalism while at the point of implementation of this bill. So that we put forward, and we believe the lawmakers will listen to us.
Senator Akpabio yesterday mentioned that less than 30% of Nigerians pay taxes. How true is that? Though I mentioned at the beginning of the show that I know that Nigeria's tax to GDP ratio is still very low, but the Senate President should also take into cognizance that many big men, the so-called big men, are also tax evaders. as it were. So how would you react to that? He mentioned that less than 30% of Nigerians pay taxes, yet we want roads, yet we want infrastructure. Of course, we will want that, but is it the case of the chicken and egg? Which one do you take? Because Nigerians have been querying the use of public funds.
Okay, thank you. I didn't get the early part of your commentary, but I will try and answer as to, because you also made reference to this in your intro when you started the program. If what you are saying is about the comment by the Senate President,
yes,
that
less than 30% of Nigerians pay taxes, but yet we want good roads.
Yes, it's a good expectation to want good roads and want good things. But again, we go to the definition of taxes, which I so much like. It is what we pay to live in a civilized environment. So if we pay our taxes and the government, on the other hand, utilize these taxes properly, then we live in civilized environment. Why I agree with the Senate President that we should all pay our taxes is the law, is an obligation. It is our commitment to our nation to make it better, so that we end the movement outside the country syndrome. On one hand, we also ask our political leaders to utilize whatever is given to them judiciously. This is the only way to entrench confidence and also allow for voluntary compliance. We keep on hammering on the need to have voluntary compliance. Once we have voluntary compliance, then of course cost of collection will go down and the revenue agencies will be better for it. But to get to this level, we must see that there's value for money. You can't construct a road in a year, in another 1 year, the road is bad again. So what thinking went into the construction, the design, and the rest? And we shouldn't be waking up every day and all we read and hear on the television is fraud everywhere. This can dampen the spirit of these people who are paying the taxes. In CITN, we know that Nigerians are good people, great set of people who are ready to follow the leaders. But the leaders must also demonstrate sufficient transparency and accountability. Once this is done, we will be better for it.
That's actually why I mentioned it at the beginning, and you just hit the nail on the head, which is voluntary compliance. And voluntary compliance would happen if Nigerians indeed see good and efficient as well as transparent use of their tax revenues. You understand what I mean? For instance, I pay taxes, my company also pay taxes, but am I getting the dividends of paying my taxes? That's the question. And even if you are not getting dividends of paying your taxes, as a Nigerian, who do you go to complain? So these are the issues.
I agree with you. The advocacy I just started, we must all make sure that we keep on taking the government officials, the political leaders to task. We shouldn't, because the tax once they become law, they are not going to implement themselves. And transparency is not just about even the utilization of tax revenue, even the collection.
The collection itself, which is FIRS duty, eventually to become Nigeria Revenue Service if it passes. If it's
yes. And we will still have some structure at the subnational.
Yeah.
And FRS is doing very well. Some state internal revenue services are doing very well. But why are others not doing very well? You can envy FRS for collecting over 20 trillion as against the target of 90 trillion that was given to them. But if you look at the personnel at the Federal Internal Revenue Service, if you look at the quality of chairmen, year in, year out, look at the past 10, 20 years, the set of people that federal government has appointed as chairmen of FRS. Take all of them one by one. They are the best you can get in the country. They are the best you can get in the world. But can we say the same thing at the subnational? We cannot. At the subnational, in some states, what we have is a political patronage. In FRS, that is doing very well, we believe they can do better. But we give kudos to what they are doing now. Now, in the FRS, there is what we call autonomy. The chairman can determine, with his board, can determine how much he pays to these people because they are doing a great job. And you can't use the salary scale of the core civil servants for the people working at the FRS. Same thing goes for the state. But once you don't have the autonomy at the state level, You are not going to perform. You want to hire people, you look up to the governor. You want to tamper, you want to do something, review the salary, look up to the government. The bureaucracy, the commissioner for finance is breathing down your neck. The accountant general at the state is breathing down the neck of the chairman of State Internal Revenue Service. These are facts in our hands. And we are putting this to the government, particularly the governors. The local government must also be ready to do the reading. Otherwise, the tax law or the tax the bills, once they become law, will not implement themselves. Brilliant bills, near perfect document, but we need to put the political will behind the bills once they become law before they can be effective and before we can get the dividend of this effort, great effort that the president and almost all the stakeholders are put into this to get to this level.
Okay, finally, before I let you go, the organized private sector yesterday also spoke, Nasima as well as Ackman, and they opposed the view of VAT hike from 7.5% where it is right now. You know, in the bill, it was also mentioned there that there will be a gradual hike of VAT rate from 7.5% to 10% this year, 12.5% next year, and 15% by 2030. So these organized private sector representatives spoke at the public hearing yesterday. Where does the Institute stand on the issue of VAT hike, value-added tax hike? Are you for it or you are not for it?
Kindly give me permission to say it this way. It is not about, the rate is not about VAT alone. We're also looking at company income tax. If you ask me if I'm to take a decision for these people, these stakeholders that we respect, that we relate with, I will say take the increase in the VAT and take the, what do you call it, the incentives that you are going to get. Because the benefit, if you put the percentage assessment to the incentive you are going to get in terms of reduction of VAT, the benefit outweigh the increase from 7.5 to 10%.
No, President, please come. Can you come again? Let me understand what you're saying, because you don't want to answer my question with a yes or no answer. So I want to understand what you are saying. Where does the Institute stand with the VAT hike proposed? That organized private sector has said no, that we should put a hold on it for now. Where do you stand? And also having it in mind that even the governors had also mentioned it earlier too.
Let me
Yes.
make myself clear. I will first of all look at the company income tax rate coming down. That is massive.
Which is 30% now. Which is 30% now.
Yes, moving to 27.5 and we go further. That is a massive reduction, and it will help the cash flow of these companies and the manufacturers. And it will make Nigeria competitive. That is very important, because in addition to addressing the needs of the people, the practitioners within the system, we must also look at the people bringing investment to the country. We won't take your investment to a country with 30% company income tax, where you have 25% or 20% company income tax. That must be, we must look at that, and we must.
Mr. Agbeluyi, are you still there? Okay. It seems the network just froze on us. Mr. Agbeluyi, I can see your picture, but of course it's frozen. All right. If I have an idea of what Mr. Agbeluyi is talking about, he's of the view that perhaps we should look at the CIT, and leave VAT proposed increase, if I get what he's saying. But let's see what happens. The network has really gone haywire on us. All right, Mr. Agbeluyi is back. Mr. Agbeluyi, can you hear me now? Just land on your point. Yeah, land on your earlier point, because we're going to our next interview.
Okay, my point, I've mentioned the benefit of the reduction in company income tax now to the VAT, and I've said the incentive embedded in this bill outweigh, if you put in percentage form, outweigh the percentage increase from 7.5 to 10%. If I were to advise the manufacturer, I would say they should take that, because it may be difficult for them to take the two, the incentive and the don't increase from 7.5. So I will say they should take the increase and take the incentive that comes with in those
It's
bills.
CIT.
They are
So,
very
what you
important.
are saying is that let's take VAT increase, but let's call for a reduction in CIT. Is that what you're saying?
That is what
Okay.
is in the bill.
Okay, Mr. Agbeluyi, I will have you again, no, because I'm not satisfied with that. But
I'm available.
yeah,
I will give you the figure.
yes, I know, and it's even those figures I want to interrogate. So our next show will be on those figures. Thank you very much for
Okay.
joining us from Ghana, and have a safe trip back to
Very much.
Nigeria. All right, that's
Thank you.
Samuel Agbeluyi, the president of CITN, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. Now, thank you for making it up to this minute watching the video. Thank you all. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Moneyline with Nancy TV. Like, follow all our other social media platforms where we keep you up to speed with fantastic interviews, as well as markets, personal finance, business, and economy information. This is the best place to be. I'll see you all again in the next video.